Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, AlphaOmegaSin and the Game Chasers proudly present to you the WrestleMania reaction on YouTube! AlphaOmegaSin, Billy fucking Chaser, and Shady Goddamn J! And it's a WrestleMania reaction, so yeah, I think you get the point. So, hi! A charming smile. Like that? Yeah.
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 Yeah, hi.
Oh wait, yeah, do the wait, we're doing this.
Meow 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 meow.
Oh wait.
Meow 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 meow
Oh wait,
meow meow.
fucking hair. Oh, I can only get like half a tit going.
It's like the testosterone's going right now. It's all those men's touching each other, you know?
In the tights and stuff.
Men.
Yeah. So WrestleMania 2015.
It was a good.
It was good. It was good. I was pretty impressed from match one. There was just a few slow moments. Maybe had me dozing off a little bit, but overall it was good.
Honestly, I preferred the first match was the ladder match, and I think honestly that was probably the best in the main event.
He liked it so much that he was snoring several times during it.
No, it was just in the middle.
No, several times. He's like.
I'm sorry. Hey, we just got back from a long ass trip, so we're old man. We get tired.
That does happen. But let's see. So this year they opened up with a 10-man ladder match for their Intercontinental Championship.
6-man.
Was it 6?
6-man.
Or 6? Yeah, whatever. 6, 10. I mean, one's just double digit, and it's just 4 additional people that weren't there. But in general, that I was excited about. I kind of hated the fact that most of those guys didn't have their own matches, because I thought Dolph Ziggler should have his own match, and Dean Ambrose should have his own match, and Wade Barrett should have his own match. But everybody's hitting their spots, doing shit with the ladder and stuff. Like one dude putting it over his head and then spinning in place like a fucking helicopter. Or remember those little stick thingies? You go like this and it's plastic and it just flies away.
Yeah.
That's what he was.
Dude, the suplex off the top of the ladder.
Yeah,
that was the best.
That was pretty.
The one Dean Ambrose ended up getting put through the ladder outside the ring and definitely busted his head open.
Yeah, like legit hurt.
Yeah, like you saw people just rush over, like, "Are you fucked up?" And he's like, "Yeah, kinda, yeah." But
he's like, "Oh, in my head."
And CZW, which was kind of like ECW, he was doing that shit all the time. So he's just like, "Oh man, I'm having like Vietnam flashbacks again from all my old wrestling days." So it was normal for him, but it was Daniel Bryan. Oh wait, there's gonna be spoilers in this, by the way. So if you haven't watched WrestleMania,
oops,
then I'm sorry. Just click back and don't fucking watch. But
good going, 8-bit Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
wait.
Oh yeah, that motherfucker.
motherfucker.
Okay, so when I'm watching anything important, okay, The Walking Dead, for example, or you're watching fucking Game of Thrones, or you're watching Arrow, shows I actually give a fuck about, what's going to happen, or WrestleMania, and we couldn't see it. We were all driving. Mm-hmm. Then Eric Center on Twitter, "Oh, here's what happened. Oh, here, and then I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Play by play in it.
Next time I fucking see him, I'm gonna hit him in his fucking dick.
You're gonna lose a fucking nipple.
Oh, now it's partially our fault because we know better than to go on social media. So for everyone out there, just stay off fucking Twitter.
Well, that was the first thing. I forgot that WrestleMania was even going on. We were in the car, and I just pull up Twitter because you get bored. Just pull up Twitter. First thing, Sting NWO.
Yeah.
Pictures.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
dude, really?
Thank you.
Yeah, we couldn't be surprised by that kind of shit, so going into it expecting it. And the worst part about it is they had seen it because I wasn't getting enter on my phone because I have Virgin Mobile. That YouTube money! So going and I see their expressions. I'm like, something bad happened at WrestleMania. Something bad.
And by bad, Sting losing because we're huge Sting fans.
Huge Sting fans.
And it's
stupid fucking Eric. Sting should have won. You should have shut the fuck up.
Like, Eric can be Sting. Stink. Fuck him.
So, anyways, the ladder match. Daniel Bryan won the Intercontinental Championship.
Which, it still kind of irks me. How are you gonna... WWE creative. They're like, oh man, Daniel Bryan, he's right up top. Okay, let's just knock him down a peg.
I asked you that because, like, last year... I don't really follow wrestling too much, but WrestleMania is kind of... It's a two-year running now. Probably going to be a tradition for us, hopefully. But,
might as well.
Last year he was real played up. He had a big match, and he won his match and all this and that. And then now he's fighting for the IC belt. And I'm like... That's kind of a step down, isn't it?
Well, it's weird because this year they now have 2 of their top guys going after belts that aren't as prestigious by comparison to the World Championship. But in a way, there's no room at the mountaintop. You know, you can't have everybody going after the belt. And Cena, he's had it 15 fucking times. And Cena's in like mid-30s, late 30s, something like that. And, you know, that's how many... Flair's had 16 times.
Yeah,
and
but Flair wrestled 50 fucking years.
Yeah, Flair's like 100. So it makes sense that he's fucking had it that many times, and it's just way too many. So I think they're just tossing other shit his way. Oh yeah, I already talked about.
Well, I guess there's that match then. So
yeah, well,
nice segue into that.
We'll get. Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. What was the second match?
Second match, I really enjoyed the second match. It was
Randy
Orton
and Seth Rollins.
Seth Rollins, right?
That shit was that was one of the show stealer matches.
That was a good
Is that
match.
one I was sleeping through?
Yeah, I think no.
No,
you
I had
weren't
to go.
here.
I had to
You
go.
weren't here. Yeah, no, you went to the post office.
Yes.
Anyways, like I said, I don't follow. Yeah, I know who a lot of these guys are. I still play the games a little bit, but I'm not following the storylines and whatnot. So I've never really seen, honestly, Randy Orton in the ring. I've never seen Seth Rollins in the ring, and I was impressed. I was impressed by both of them. They're smart wrestlers.
Was there an RKO out of nowhere?
Oh,
There was RKOs out of nowhere.
okay.
Dude, the finishing move.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was fucking crazy.
So Seth Rollins, his finishing move is a curb stomp. Anybody watch American History X? You know what the fuck it is. But basically, his finishing move is that, so he'll go off the ropes while the person's like hunched over or just down on the mat and just stomp, bam, done, that's it. And Randy Orton was hunched over like that, and then he pushes off with Seth Rollins, goes up in the air like he's fucking Air Jordan, and then RKO's him. And it was
RKO out of nowhere. My God, that was a human being.
It was like best.
Dude, it was badass.
It's total carnage.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I want to be Joey Styles, like, oh my God!
He's got a family.
Yeah, he's got a family, damn it! He's got a family, damn it!
Yeah, that was by my opinion the best move of the night. He went for that curb stomp, and
it didn't look real.
Randy Orton, he countered it.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, like you said, literally gets 10 feet in the air, and then out of nowhere he just hits.
Oh, and I'm gonna say this: I fucking called one of the most major things of the entire night.
Yeah, you did.
I knew it would happen because it was bound to happen, but we'll get there.
We'll get to that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But that match, I mean, they were like I'm trying to get these two motherfuckers to start watching episodes of Raw.
So we grew up.
Oh
on
yeah, a little
90s
backstory.
wrestling.
yeah.
We grew up on 90s wrestling, but it was mainly only WCW because we were out. For me personally, I liked watching the guys that I grew up watching in the 80s. And so they had all moved to WCW. And
Right,
so I
that's
started
what it
watching
was.
them. Sting, Hogan, Nash, Hall, whole NWO angle. I was so into that.
That's what it was for me too. You know, because obviously in the 80s into the early 90s, we're big into wrestling. I was big into wrestling. I stopped watching for a long time, and then for whatever reason, I just got this resurgence of watching wrestling again. And like you said, I followed wherever the guys I was watching, you know, that were in WWF at the time, Macho Man and Hogan and the Steiners and all that stuff. Well, now they're in WCW, so I just gravitated towards that. So after it shut down, what was it, 2000?
It was
Yeah.
early
2000?
And then after WWF bought them, I kind of refused to watch because I thought the way they treated all the WCW guys were kind of shitty.
They
It kind
treated
of
a lot
turned
of
me
them
off
like shit.
really about wrestling in general. So I really kind of stopped watching it after that.
Well, keep in mind, back in the 90s, if you weren't watching wrestling, it was like a foreign thing to hear because everybody was watching.
Everybody
The Monday
was
Night
watching
Wars
wrestling.
are an infamous thing. So it was, I mean, all three of us have been watching wrestling since we were kids. Naturally, it makes sense to go and make a video like this with two motherfuckers who know their shit about it. But yeah, you guys definitely have to start watching Raw.
We might, you know what? Like we might. I might.
You should.
Because you kind of get me charged up and back in. It's kind of like whenever you're a kid, you watch Karate Kid, you want to start doing karate on people. It's kind of being with wrestling.
I want to get
around
somebody
here.
in RKO.
Dude, it's oh my god, RKO is just it's devastating. And most people are like, "You mean the Diamond Cutter?" I'm like, "Nah, the way that motherfucker is doing it, way more different." If DDP was throwing people into the air and then doing that, I'd be like, "Oh!"
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, because I remember when I first saw it years back, I'm like, that's a fucking Diamond Cutter. He kind of takes it to the next level. So
Yeah. He was like, "I'm going to get the upgraded version." Now I'm
Basically.
Cesaro.
So-
So it was a good match.
Next match, though, that was a wonderful match. Like I said, in my opinion, the best moment, the best ending to a match, the best 2 seconds to a match was right there. That was the best 2 seconds of WrestleMania. That move was just, because me and you both were like, holy shit.
It was a highlight reel.
Hey, we all like, damn!
Yeah, it was, oh my god! It's one of those things like you ought to need to have a jump cut to Friday where they're like, damn!
Dude, it was crazy. All right, next match after that was, drawing a fucking blank.
Was it John Cena and Rusev? Was it?
No, that was after Sting.
That was after Sting.
Was a Sting match?
Was the Sting match the next match?
Maybe it was a Sting match.
Maybe the Sting match was the next match.
Which, hey.
Or was it the Diva match? Because we fast forwarded.
Oh wait,
No,
yeah,
Diva match was after Sting.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was.
We fast forwarded that.
Okay, so I know when I came back in, the Sting match was on, and
It was paused, 'cause we were about to
I was
start.
going all giddy because, like I said before, I was so freaking huge in the Sting match. I got 2 VH tapes.
He used to
actually
dress
upstairs.
as Sting at his
Yes.
job with him.
True story.
Blockbuster. Okay, we both worked at Blockbuster.
True
One
story.
night I dressed up like Sting for no, was it no, it wasn't Halloween. It
It wasn't Halloween.
It was Thursday.
It was a Thursday.
It's not Halloween. It's Thursday.
Yeah, it's funny because, dude, you look just like him. Just like him. Like, you're about the same height. You're 6'2". I think Sting is like 6'2", 6'3".
Got a couple more pounds on me.
A few more. But you had long hair at the time, and the makeup was just, like, impeccable. Actually, since that day, we've always called you Stinger or something. My brother Tim still, every time he sees you, what's up, Stinger?
It was so funny because I think I did it like around 10 o'clock at night, so it wasn't really, too totally busy in there. But I was all stacking movies in Sting, like with trench coat and all.
Yeah, trench coat and all, putting movies on the shelf.
Movies. This one kid was like,
Yes. He signed an autograph for this little
Yes.
kid. He was like 8 years old. This
He
dude was
goes-
like, Sting?
he goes, "Are you really Sting?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You are?" And I go, "Yeah." I pulled out the bat. I brought a bat, pulled it out from the counter. I'm like, I showed him. I go, "This is in case Hogan shows up."
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
You know what's funny
Don't worry,
about
if
that
the
is?
NWO comes, I'll protect you.
What's funny about that is I still have you in my phone as Stinger. I don't have you under Billy. So, anyways, the Sting match.
Well, hold up. Did you ever go a Scorpion Death Drop to a VHS tape?
We did wrestling moves in there though. We crushed a bunch of boxes for movies and stuff. We'd set the boxes up as a wrestling ring, and when we closed at midnight, this was like some Clerks shit right
It's a
here.
true story.
And we'd videotape us putting wrestling moves and suplexing everybody into the boxes and stuff.
I didn't ever hear about this.
Yeah, it was awesome.
You're also all hearing about this.
How we never got fired, I don't know, because surely somebody had to have seen security footage.
Sting was rumored to be showing up into WWE, which was a big deal because Sting never showed up in WWE. Prior to this, he was in TNA. So he went from WCW to a hiatus to TNA. And TNA, he did a really good job, but a lot of people were kind of iffy on it because TNA had lots of stupid ideas. Like the whole Joker Sting gimmick, that was really terrible. Cringeworthy, as a matter of fact. But, long story short, he shows up and he's going against Triple H. Triple H being the CEO of the company and kind of the new Mr. McMahon. And he's going after him. And they make this a WCW versus WWE type thing. There you go. And they finally signed on to have the match at Mania. And go.
Well, okay, let's start from the beginning. So Sting's entrance was...
Odd?
No, nothing out of the ordinary. He had his music. He came out.
Well, I mean, they had that thing playing, and then
They had a bunch
they
of
had that
live
playing.
people
Yeah.
playing music.
I didn't quite get that, but hey, it's whatever.
Well, what was worse than that was that this promo for the new Terminator movie that they fucking shoehorned.
Oh my
They
God.
fucking
What was that?
jammed up our asses into
that?
Triple H's intro.
It was a commercial.
No,
It was basically a commercial embedded into an entrance. And we're hearkening back to the days of WCW where RoboCop saved Sting.
Dude, when that came on, I was like, well, first of all, they had all these Terminators, these T1000s.
Well, those look
T1000s.
cool.
Yeah, they look cool,
but
they look badass, and I was like, I want one of those. And then Triple H comes up from the bottom of the stage,
making the Shockmaster look cool, mind you.
At least he didn't trip though. Imagine he came up and he's like, shit.
dude. He's got this. He like okay,
like an
so he had
exoskeleton.
that King of Kings mask on, but it was supposed to be like metal, like
It was supposed to be like the
Terminator.
Terminator mask. And
Well, it looked like tinfoil was wrapped around his face, and then he had these exoskeleton arms on, which just looked like pathetic.
Keep
It's
in
really
mind,
what it looked like.
Triple H is a big
God,
fucking guy,
dude,
so when
right.
he's standing there, he stands like this.
Like on one of us, it might have blended in, and it might have looked like we actually had robot arms.
I wonder if they
Put
just
on him.
sprung that on him right at the end. Oh, by the way, yeah, you're going on. You got to wear this, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck?
Do you guys remember the Terminator scanning where it's going through the crowd?
Oh God, that was bad. That was so bad.
Okay, back in the 90s, there was actually quite a few times with promo shit. I actually going through WWE Network, I came up with it was one of the Halloween Havocs, and they did similar shit to that. And it's so hokey, you know, but it was like early 90s, like 93. Well, now it's 2015, they're doing the same thing, and it's like...
Yeah, so they had this what would have been a view from the Terminator's eye, scanning Levi Stadium, and it said environment hostile, and then it scans again and goes through these pictures of wrestlers real quick, and then it stops on Sting and it goes threat determined.
Wait, I'm trying to figure out something here. Are they trying to say that that's what Triple H was seeing?
Yeah, that's what they were trying to say. Hey, look, I understand product placement, I understand paid advertising. Okay, it's what makes things like that happen. But fuck, come on, you could have gone about it. You could have just cut to break and did a 30-second promo, a 30-second commercial about the new Terminator, and then, okay, here's Triple H's intro, time to play the game, let's go.
So is Triple H thinking in his head, oh, there he is.
Yep. He was like, where is he? Found him.
Hasta la vista, seriousness.
Okay,
it was bad.
Once we got past that, because even during the intro, we're like,
we had expressions a lot like this.
Yeah,
we had to watch it twice.
It was very awkward, kind of like if you're having dinner or something, or you're at your friend's house, and then the married couple starts fighting, and I'm just over here.
Wait, hold up. We had to play it twice because Melvor didn't get to see it.
We go, yo, you gotta see this shit right here.
What do you think?
Dude, I just kept saying, what is this? What's going on? I didn't understand.
Exactly. No one knew what the hell was going on. And you don't even watch wrestling, and you would have got it had it been a normal intro. But it was like, what the fuck? I thought this was WrestleMania.
It was weird.
But you know what, though? I think it worked because both of you guys said, I gotta go watch that movie.
No.
That's not why we said we got to watch the movie.
No, the trailer is why we want to see the movie because the trailer is badass.
The trailer is badass.
If that entrance was a trailer, I'd be like Mystery Science Theater, please help us.
I feel like not watching the movie out of principle now.
So,
but speaking of which,
to the match,
Sting. I remember like at the end of the '90s when WCW was pretty much down in the gutters and done. I remember thinking to myself, wow, Sting is getting kind of old. He can't go much longer. Here it is, 15 years later. And he's still in a match. This dude is what? Past 50. He's past 50.
He's pushing 60 at this point.
He's pushing 60, but 50s. He's probably in better shape than any of us here.
For sure.
And so the fact that he was actually out there competing at all is pretty cool.
And he was in a WWE ring in a match.
He looked good, honestly. Him and Triple H both. Not taking anything away from Triple H. They both look good. I know neither one of them done a lot of wrestling lately, but... Considering that they're both getting older, it wasn't like Hogan walked in the ring and it's like, Hogan, you're 65 and it's showing, dude, get the fuck out, already. They look good, the match looked good, and then all of a sudden, D-Generation X hits first.
Yeah, DX.
I forgot about them because they're nothing to me.
So Badass Billy Gunn and Road Dogg and X-Pac go barreling down to the ring and they jump Sting. And they start beating the shit out of him. And you're thinking, oh man, that's really how this match is going to roll. Beating him down. And then all of a sudden...
You're so stupid.
Oh, wait. And then, yeah.
So obviously the NWO comes out. Hogan, Hall, Nash.
Nash looking badass as fuck.
Nash looked pretty goddamn good, except for being gray. Well, his hair, not like him skin or anything.
Dude, he's been gray since even the 90s.
Hogan looked like Hogan. Hogan hadn't changed much. Hall looked bad, but Hall looked better than he had been looking.
DDP Yoga. That's all I can say. So
you're gonna suck these nuts.
You're so stupid. So, anyways, it was kind of a classic clash of the biggest factions in the '90s, just done a little bit too late. But it was still neat. It was a very,
okay,
very
but think about it. When you
factor.
watch, no matter what you watch, if you watch Raw, if you watch Monday Night Nitro, you wanted to see that.
That's what I'm saying.
15 years ago, you wanted to see that.
That's what I'm saying.
It was fan service. Like, it wasn't meant to be like, a match of the ages and all that. It was meant to pretty much please fans who would always want to see something.
Yeah, it was. That's really what that match was. And it was funny because when DX came out, I was like, oh man, where's HBK? I like HBK. I was watching him since the Rocker days. So I was like, where's Shawn Michaels? And then
Sure
Sting gets Triple H back into the Scorpion Deathlock, and then here comes Shawn Michaels with the super sweet chin music. I was like, oh, there it is.
You want to know what? I actually wish that that's how the match would have ended. I thought the match, the way that they ended with the sledgehammer, like the actual hit and impact of it was weak. I was like,
it was.
Like considering all the other shit that had happened, he kicked out of a pedigree, but wouldn't kick out of that. Just kind of weird. And also, I didn't understand why they'd make Sting lose.
I thought Sting should have won, and not just because that's my favorite wrestler of all time, but it's Sting in his first ever WrestleMania, possibly his last ever WrestleMania, and you're going to give him a loss.
He's probably going to be in the Hall of Fame next year, though.
Yeah, I think this whole thing is probably just fan service, just to get Sting in there, because that's what people have wanted for decades, literally decades, 30 years.
Well, the reason Sting never joined the WWF after the WCW got bought out was because of the whole Attitude Era. He didn't, he's a Christian and all that, so he didn't think that it suited him to be in that company because of the whole Attitude Era. Now that it's more G, now
he went through a what do they call that when you find Jesus again? Rebirth, I guess, and he was real big Christian. So that was one of the reasons he did not come to
Goldberg was the same way too.
WWE, right? Yeah, Goldberg held out for a while.
He thought it was too raunchy, and since he did a lot of shit for kids and shit.
I actually wish, because Goldberg actually did wrestle in WWE, I actually wish he would have came out at WrestleMania. But
his run wasn't all that good. Wasn't as bad as DDP's.
Oh man, they fucked DDP around bad.
They did.
But that's another video entirely.
Yeah. But the match in general, granted, Sting didn't win because that's something that we all wanted to see.
Yeah.
But the match, it was cool because it was just cool to see. It's just one of those things that you don't want to be like looking back, 10 years from now going, man, I really wish they would have done this. They did it. They did it late, but they did it. That's all that
Still
matters.
happened.
So what was after that? The
next match was the Diva match, and we fast forward to the Diva match.
Well, we allowed the entrance of Paige and AJ because I have a major hard-on for both of them, especially Paige. Oh my god, I don't even know where I'd begin with it. I mean, she was like, "Hey, Alpha, eat the corn out of my shit." And I'd be like, getting my bib on. I'm like, "All right, if I gotta pay my dues," That's all. I'm sorry. She's that fucking hot. And AJ's banging CM Punk, and I don't want to taste his wiener leftovers. So I'd rather have Paige.
His wiener leftovers.
Just saying. I mean, and they're good wrestlers, but they were facing the Bellas. If they were facing actual wrestlers, because the Bellas aren't, they're I don't know what the fuck they're Daniel Bryan and John Cena's shot socks with mouths. So, and shot sock is thanks to him, by the way. Yeah. But they had a match. AJ Lee and Paige won. Doesn't matter. They're really hot. That's sexist. No, they're sexy. Duh.
That's sexist.
And that's one of those. What was after that?
Oh, what was it? Was it the Cena?
Cena and Rusev.
Cena Rusev.
Okay, so Cena Rusev thoughts?
Yeah, kind of. I was like, oh, they're running with this storyline again, the whole good versus evil and U.S. versus Russia, and like we did this back in what is the 80s, early 90s with Sergeant Slaughter and Iron Sheik.
Yeah, he was like, I'm part of Iraq.
Yeah, and then all that. But anyways, I thought the match was so. It actually kind of shocks me how many boos John Cena gets.
No, I mean, it was unanimous.
Yeah,
in the entire arena.
I mean, I don't care one way or the other for the guy. I know he does a lot of stuff. Like he's a workhorse. He puts in tons of time. Tons of ring time. He does a lot of shit behind the scenes and charity and stuff.
He
like
actually legitimately seems like a good guy.
Right. He's a good guy. It's just that his character is very stale, and because he's like the big face of the company. It's kind of like Hogan all over again. People hate him and want him to be heel. They like the guy. They just want him to be heel because he'd be better off.
Maybe he needs to.
The Doctor of Thugonomics should come back. Like, oh my god. But Rusev...
Like we were talking about earlier, it would be awesome and perfect if he won the belt, come back on Raw and be like, you know what, I was fighting for all of you guys out there, for your country, for our country, and then yet you're going to sit there and you're going to boo me, and then boom, heel turn right then and there.
John Cena won.
Cena won.
Yeah, and he has the U.S. title, so they can keep him away from the belt. Now he can go on to Raw and then be like, you know what, fuck all of you. You all booed me in an arena of, 96,000?
I think it's
79,000.
70.
70
76,950.
Yeah.
Fact, I'm bad with numbers tonight.
Yeah.
Today, it's
76,957, I think it was what it was.
They broke an attendance record.
Yeah.
And then...
An attendance record for Levi Stadium.
Oh, by the
That's what it
way,
was.
speaking of attendance record, they're going to
Record.
be here in Arlington next year, and we're going to try to go.
Even though they're just saying Dallas.
Yeah. Yeah, they're calling it Dallas, but it's not.
Arlington.
It's Arlington.
So, crossing fingers, toes,
buttholes.
and crossing streams, and hoping to go, because I will definitely fly in, because I already stayed down here to begin with. So fuck it, why not? WrestleMania? Oh my god, first time
Dude, that'd
ever.
be awesome.
Oh my god, I wouldn't
be
have to
awesome.
watch it on TV. I could watch it from part of the stadium where I can't see anything.
Then you have to come back and watch it on TV.
Yeah, and I'm like,
anyways.
oh man, that's what actually happened. Remember that time where we were like, what?
So it'd be funny if like freaking Taker one last match and he looks up in the stand and goes, "Hey Alpha, big fan."
Dude, that'd be funny.
I'd be like,
That'd be pretty hilarious. Okay.
Is it just me or is it like really creamy?
Tad melted, so yeah.
I'm fine
I
with
like
it though.
I like it. I like a little melted. I don't like it when it's hard.
You like when it's floppy? Oh wait, you actually did say that.
Like bacon.
Floppy bacon.
But speaking of people that are in shape, what about that Taker?
Oh yeah, dude, Taker looked awesome. Like,
Joking on cookies.
so Taker's wife was posting pictures of him on Instagram boxing and shit, and I'm like, damn, Taker, getting back in shape.
Damn!
And, yeah, damn! But he seriously did look awesome. Came out to his entrance. Bray Wyatt had a badass entrance. Like, it was cool as fuck. And Bray Wyatt thoughts?
I thought all the it's so funny how all the entrances in here took like 5 minutes. You know, there's more entrances than there are actual matches,
More entrance than match.
time wise.
Well, Bray Wyatt and Undertaker both have long entrances typically, but theirs are cool looking. So I'm fine with them taking long. Other ones, just not so much. But Bray Wyatt came out with these motherfuckers that look like scarecrows from Arkham Asylum. And there's like bunches of them all fucking moving around and shit like they're in a Tool video. And I'm like, this is cool. And Jay actually, that was like one of the first times he heard the theme song for Bray Wyatt. And he's all like, shut up.
I'm Shazam. I Shazam the theme song.
Oh, is that what you were
the
doing?
song. Yeah.
I thought you were trying to record it.
No, Shazamming it. You know what Shazam is? He's looking at me like, what the fuck?
Shazamming.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right?
It's an app, and basically you hit, like, it's like a record button, I guess, and it listens to the song, and then it'll pull up the title and the artist and everything.
Is it anything like Kazam, where it's Shaquille O'Neal coming out of a boombox?
He's all like, boom, da da boom, da da boom, da da boom, da da.
He's like,
It's
"Play my
slightly
game."
better than Kazam.
Slightly?
Slightly.
And the
Kazam.
little boombox that's over there. I wish that he would come out of
It's
there.
so he's all rapping, it's all bad, and the kid's all like thinking it's awesome. He's like, oh,
Okay, but as for the match was excellent. They kept on doing lots of cool shit. Like Bray Wyatt does that upside down spider walk, kind of like from the Poltergeist, and
Exorcist.
he was. Or is it?
Exorcist.
Oh yeah, not Poltergeist up. So he's doing the upside down little spider walk and shit, and then the Undertaker was like flat on his back, and then he sat up like he does in his matches, and then Bray Wyatt was like, "Nah!"
Look on his face was funny. He's like this. Undertaker sits up. He goes, nah.
And then all of a sudden, like they started sitting up, and then they're just like beating the shit out of each other. But there was a lot of high impact moves, which is what you were gonna expect from two really big ass dudes. Fucking Bray Wyatt, I don't know how the fuck he does. It's kind of like a rock bottom choke slam. When he does that, motherfuckers go like 30 feet in the air. Not like Seth Rollins high into the air where he went to the moon and then came back and got RKO'd through the planet, which was like some Dragon Ball Z shit, by the way. But the match was awesome, especially coming off the. If anybody remembers, we had talked about Undertaker losing last year, which was stupid. And that's a rant.
I still think it was a mistake last year. Like in a
They had the
technical
graphic.
fuck up.
They had the graphic, man.
I know they had the graphic, which you're right about that, but I want to believe that the Undertaker had a concussion mid-match.
We need Mulder's.
Yeah, that's what I
fucking
wanna believe.
Poster back there from X-Files. I want to believe. But I don't know. The match was just awesome. And to me, this was a passing of the torch match, because Bray Wyatt is really like the next generation version of a gimmick character like that. he's his own version of that, very unique, methodical, crazy, and just real badass. And that's why I like this match. Taker won, which is what I wanted. And people say, well, that makes Bray Wyatt look weak, and how is that even useful or beneficial? It's because he had that match with Undertaker.
It was a high-profile match.
Very high-profile.
Well, he kicked out of a tombstone.
Yeah, and that's a big deal.
That's a big deal.
The tombstone is not like, oh man, that's just a move. That has ended everyone. I mean, we were talking last night. Undertaker take motherfuckers away in body bags, which is horrifying. Like, you get put in a body bag and just dragged off, and you're never seen again because you're a jobber.
Well, come on. The first Rocky movie, Rocky became a superstar. He didn't win. It's all about the match. What happens in the match and the heart that you have, and he showed it.
Now we need a montage.
And it's not like he got his ass handed to him.
Mm-hmm. Now it was a very even match the entire time, and all the fans were into it, which is saying something because for an arena that big, it's kind of hard to tell when people are cheering or screaming or anything like that, and people were into it. You could hear it.
People were into it.
Taker won. I was glad with that.
Now let me ask you this: you think this is it for him? You think this is his last match?
If it was up to me, just considering that, I mean, last time we saw Taker was WrestleMania. Then we saw him this time. I would be fine if Undertaker just retired with this, because he ended on a high note, ended his career by going against somebody who's going to be a big thing in the company on the grandest stage, and it's a lot better of a way to go out than how it did last year, where everybody was unhappy.
I will say this: here's one X factor though. Next year it is in Dallas. He's a Texas boy.
Oh my God, never thought about that.
And
He's from Texas.
I believe he went to college in the DFW area.
He did. He went to college around here. Oh God, I want to say Dallas
DBU.
Baptist.
DBU.
Maybe?
I think it is DBU. Maybe. Don't hold us to that. But come on, going to WrestleMania in your home state like that.
Now, what about this? Think about this though. What if he becomes like a DH, designated hitter, and he only does WrestleMania matches
I think that's pretty much what he is now.
for the next 5 years, maybe, let's say.
I mean, considering the fact that the last time we saw him on TV was last WrestleMania, he had no ring rust. I mean, and naturally they continue doing their thing outside of that so that they don't get really rusty. But he looked incredible.
He did. He looked
physically
good.
Looked good. Was pulling off all the moves.
I think he looked better this year than he did last year. Physically,
better.
at least.
Way better.
Yeah.
It was honestly like really good, and he's like I was telling them in my household, Undertaker was like sacred. You say some bad shit about Undertaker, my mom would fucking tear you in half, and all of us just stand back like had it coming. I guess.
I liked Undertaker. I remember when he first came into WWF. I was a kid. It was a pretty neat gimmick. Neat gimmick, and it's remained so.
It stood the test of time, and he changed up every so often. Ministry of Darkness, the American Badass, and then just came back to just being plain ass Undertaker, which was fine because fuck it.
I thought it was funny when he murdered the pallbearer on TV. And attempted to or something. And attempted to another time.
You mean Kane's biological father?
Yeah.
Duh.
God, we're such nerds.
It was cool to go and see. We didn't actually get to see the two matches prior to that though. The Andre the Giant Battle Royal, and then there was the 4-way tag team match. Wow, that sounds like some kind of crazy porn.
Yeah, it does. 4-way tag team match.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah, we didn't get to see those.
Double-ended dildos everywhere. But as for the main event,
first of all, if you haven't seen it, if you have, we're not gonna say anything yet. But what did you say before the match started? How did you think it was gonna go?
This has been my prediction, and I've been saying this for weeks, that the match was going to end up having Seth Rollins cash in his Money in the Bank. He'd go in, and he'd win. That's the only smart conclusion to it because he's had it for almost a year.
Now, tell everyone what happened.
So, it's Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns. This was actually built pretty well. At first, I was kind of iffy about it because it's Roman Reigns, and I didn't want to see Roman Reigns do anything because Roman Reigns ain't ready for shit as far as I'm concerned. And, they actually worked that into the entire feud and stuff. So they started, the whole kayfabe thing. But then, they had Brock Lesnar going and speaking on interviews, being a dick, being Brock Lesnar and stuff. But it worked. But it was mainly Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was selling this entire thing, and they had the match, and it was pretty fucking graphic. We were seeing blood, and that doesn't happen much in a PG era.
Yeah, Brock Lesnar bled. He bled several times. And then he just proceeded to dismantle Roman Reigns. For a while.
He fucked Roman Reigns. I mean, like actually fucked him.
Okay, like you said, we haven't been following wrestling, but I've been seeing everything, like online, and nobody likes this guy Roman Reigns at all. Yet I felt him winning over the crowd in this match. That was the vibe that I was given.
Did you hear the amount of boos he was getting though?
The amount of
he was getting a ton of boos, but as the match went on, because he stayed in there, he kicked out of an F5 for God's sakes, and
kicked out of several.
Right, and the crowd started to kind of turn a little bit in his favor, just a little bit.
I feel that they were actually cheering because the momentum of the match was so intense. Because there was no lull. It was going and going and going. Everybody was hitting their shit.
Yeah.
And that's exciting. It's not that Roman Reigns is a bad wrestler or anything like that. It's just Roman Reigns ain't ready. On the mic, very limited. In the ring, it depends on the match, actually. Sometimes he does really well. Sometimes he's just Superman punch and spear, and that's it. And I'm like, oh no, 5 moves of doom, part 2, the Roman Reigns saga.
Hey, some wrestlers built their entire career on 5 moves. Hogan.
Yeah, that leg drop is not a fucking finisher. And if that dude is the epitome of a sandbag whenever it comes to being picked, just fuck me running, man. But the match, I mean, Brock got busted open a couple times, but I mean, some of the moves, it was just, like, when Brock clotheslined Roman Reigns, when he was on the apron.
He had his leg, and then,
he was holding his leg, and Roman legs is all out like that. And Brock clotheslines the fucking soul directly out of him, sends it whirling right out of the stupid fucking arena, and then his body's like,
and then when he started slapping him.
Oh my god! Woo. Oh my god! That shit. We thought the Randy Orton out of nowhere was amazing. So Brock takes off his gloves. To me, that's horrifying. Because
that could be a bad sign.
Yeah, so he takes them off, and I'm like, oh god, what is he doing? And he just picks Roman up by his stupid little weird vest thingy, and just slaps the living shit out of him. Blood going everywhere, bruises, and he's getting all beat up. Motherfucker's actually cutting better promos because he's getting beat so hard. Fucking souls flying out of him. It was brutal. I mean, Brock Lesnar he treated him like a redhead stepchild. It was fucking terrible.
Yeah, that's racist against redheads.
That's true. I'm actually a redhead too, so yeah.
That's slow motion. That's slow motion, dude. That's like,
yeah, dude. Every time that they showed a close up of him, he always had derp face. He was like, it was always like bad porn face. What you imagine Eric looks like when he's finishing.
No, that whole match, he had his ass entirely handed to him. But I honestly think he was winning over the crowd. Me personally, that's the vibe that I got because he was the whole Rocky thing, underdog, and he kicked out of what, like 4 F5s, 3 F5s, something like that?
Yeah, WrestleMania is notoriously the home of finishers don't get the job done the first, second, or third time.
Happened all night. Everybody got kicked. Sting kicking out of the pedigree. I mean, it happened all night. Yeah,
the pedigree and tombstone are 2 moves nobody kicks out of. And it's like, no, this motherfucker is not. And it's just like, Hulk Hogan, we coming for you. Oh my god, he kicked out. And it's just, it's just fucking saddening.
Oh, carnage.
But Bork Laser, he did not win, and Roman Reigns, he did not win. It was Seth motherfucking Rollins cashing in,
just like you said he would. I guess that's cool and all, but I honestly wanted to see. I was invested in the match. I guess I was. I was really invested in the match, and to me, a little bit, it felt like an interference. When. You got this heated match, and it happens a lot. Happened a lot in WCW 90s with the NWO and stuff. And you really want to see what's going to happen, and then there's like interference. And it's kind of annoying. To me, I was kind of like bummed out. It was just, I know a lot of people got a kick out of it, but I don't know. I wanted to see what was going to happen.
I wasn't too bothered, only for the sheer fact that the Money in the Bank has been toted around on screen forever. I mean, Seth Rollins has been calling himself Mr. Money in the Bank, and then he finally goes and cashes in at WrestleMania, and that's where else do you do that? And it could be worse because I remember there's been one time that was cashed in and they failed. And that's the Price is Right music. Yeah. Like, oh man, that sucks. And then, Crossfire. Everything's just gone because that amount of failure. But so match good.
Yeah, I mean the match was good. I think overall I give it 7 chodes out of 10. 7.5. 7.5 chodes.
The 7.5, the half being the Lorena Bobbitt job, just gone. Just go.
I thought it was good match. Yeah, about 7.5-ish, 8-ish. I kind of wanted to see, like you said, who won that, and then he came in. It was cool that it happened. It happened exactly like you thought it was going to happen, almost. But
I thought there would be a decisive winner, and then the cash
and then the cash in, right? But it is what it is. It's good.
I'll end up ultimately just going and giving it like an 8 out of 10. It has a score now. So 8 chodes, or an above average penis worth. So yeah, it was a lot better than last year's. A lot better.
A lot better than last year's. Hall of Fame, real quick. Hall of Fame class.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Dancing Nipples.
Oh, they just do that.
I thought this year's Hall of Fame class was solid. Macho Man definitely deserves it. Kevin Nash definitely deserves it. Zbyszko definitely deserves it. Rikishi, not so much.
No, if Rikishi was fucking shoehorned in there. Famous for having men's faces up his ass. Bravo. That way to fucking go there. You're a mid-carder that you dance with Too Cool.
He did dance with Too Cool.
He had the Samoan pull, is what it was, with The Rock. All those guys. That's what it was.
That seems like that was about it. I don't understand. I mean, we just got Macho Man in the same year that Rikishi gets in.
Yeah, that.
Somebody apparently at the top is just drunk as fuck. Like, fuck it. I bet they won't believe it.
Out of a hat.
Well, I mean, Kevin Nash. And say what you want about Kevin Nash and his wrestling ability, but he was part of the thing that sparked wrestling back into the public's eye in the 90s.
Now, he was part of NWO, and even when he was Diesel, he was still a big-ass deal. And, overall, I liked everybody. Lundra Blaze showing up in it was completely unexpected, because, I mean, I swear they want to, drop Dynamite down that bitch's shorts and just be done with her after dropping the Women's Championship belt into a garbage can live on TV. That's some balls. Big cojones.
You think McMahon was mad about that? He was like,
he was so mad he just started sticking it to Cena even harder. So that comes, yeah. The C Nation turn heel. Everybody wants it to happen.
I'm gonna be Cena. Yeah, suck these nuts.
I wish I could power frown harder. Here, hold on.
God, Smooth McGrew's mad at me. Shut up! I'll kick your ass, cracker!